What's happening, engineers? Today we are going to make a PCB in Fusion. So let's start by going to your student folder and making a new folder called PCB tutorial, just like that. All right, once you have that done, we're going to go into the electronics environment by clicking on the page icon and going to New Electronics Design. All right, once I have that open, I can close this untitled document. I don't need that open. And I'm going to save this right away. And let's just give it a generic name. Let's call it my PCB. Maybe my first PCB or something like that. All right, and that's going to save right here. And this is a file where all of the different files that are associated with this design are going to be held. All right, so once I do that, I'm going to go to New Schematics, this icon up in the upper left corner. We can also go ahead and close the data panel. We don't need that open. So remember, a schematic is going to display all of the components and the connections between those components. It's not necessarily the layout that we're going to get once we actually create this circuit. So I'm going to click on that. And let's make something simple. Let's make a circuit that has a button, a resistor, and an LED. All right, so let's go down to this filter right here, and I'm going to type in LED. And I'm looking for something called a radial LED. There are a lot of components here, and quite frankly, it is overwhelming sometimes. The specific kind I want is a radial LED. So the way I usually find that is it says yellow right here. I'm going to click on the drop down, and you can see that I can change the color. It doesn't really matter what color you use. It will display later on when you create a 3D model of this. Let's just go red because we've been using red quite often. All right, notice down here in the details, it also shows us what it's going to look like. Some of the symbol that's going to be used, we're familiar with that symbol. This is what the footprint will look like. I want you to notice this green right here. That's really important. And this is for the 3D design. We don't need to really worry about that right now. So I'm going to drag this over. So I click and I start dragging, and I'm just going to drop this in here right now. And you can see I click and it drops it, and I have another one connected to my cursor. I don't want that one, so I'm just going to push escape. All right. I know I'm going to need a button, and a button is called a momentary switch. So I'm going to type in momentary switch. And hopefully I see something here. All right, remember I mentioned the red, the green earlier. That's for through-hole components that we've been working with, that we will work with. The red right here is for surface mount, and we're never going to do any surface mount. So if you see any component with red on it, do not use it. You know it's the wrong thing. All right, so did you see how I had to kind of search through that a little bit? If you don't see this available when you type in momentary switch, notice the library that I'm in. It's the SparkFun switches. I'm going to show you how to add a library right now. I click on this little icon that says Open Library Manager, and there's so many parts. So many parts. And I'm going to scroll down to SparkFun. Remember, we've seen some of their tutorials. I had a filter up there earlier, so I'm going to clear that. Scroll down until you see a library called SparkFun. There's a bunch of SparkFun libraries, and I have the SparkFun switches, I think it was called. So I'm going to click that right there. Okay, and then once you do that, if you go back, you should see the component that you want. And so I'm going to click on this drop down, and there's some different types. I do have 12 millimeter, but we mostly use 6 millimeters. Those are the really small buttons that we've been using. So I'm going to select this right here, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm just going to drag it over, and I have a switch. All right, and I'm going to push exit. Now I want to type in resistor. All right, and the type of resistor we want to use is the RUS, because this is America, and that's what we use here. You could just as well use the R, but it will give you the European icon for that. And so I'm going to click on the 7.2 pitch, right? The pitch is the distance between the holes that are needed in your PCB. So I'm going to click that and drag this over. There we go. See, we get the squiggly lines because America. All right. So we have our 3 components. We're also going to need a way to connect this to a battery. Let's use some pin headers. All right. So I'm going to have you type in pin header, and over here I'm going to drag this over. It has the dimensions of the pin header. So 1 by 12, that's way too big. I could use a 1 by 1, but that's going to be kind of tough. Yeah, let's just use a 1 by 1. All right, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to drag that, and I do want 2 of these. One of these is going to be my VCC, and one's going to be my ground. All right, so I have all my components. And now I can drag these around. All right, so I'm going to click on this move icon up here, and it's kind of tough to drag these. I can zoom in. I hope you can see this in the video. There's some crosshairs right here, and that's what you need to click on to be able to move the component around. Right, here's the crosshair. Here's the crosshair for this one. Nope, I accidentally moved the name. So let's go with this. I want to have the switch. I want to have the resistor, and then I want to have the LED. So I'm going to drag the switch, and I think I'm going to keep it in this direction. Okay. I want to have my resistor right here. I might just put it right there. And then I want to turn this LED. So I'm going to click on the rotate icon, and again, you have to click on the those little crosshairs. All right, and I'm going to drag this so it's kind of in line, and I'm going to rotate the LED name around. I'm going to just move this out of the way a little bit. Okay. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to move this. Where's the crosshairs on this one? I'm going to move this one over here, I think. I want these pretty close together, but not too close. Okay, so this looks okay. This is not going to be how it translates over into our layout document. So don't worry about this too much. I'm going to click on this net icon, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to connect to this switch right here. I'm going to connect here to here, here to here, here down to here. All right, that looks pretty good. But I do want to kind of move these around a little bit. I don't quite like how it lined up. Here we go. This is a little bit better. I think I want to move this so it's like that. Okay. So I'm going to save this now. All right. And it's going to save a schematic. That's fine. All right. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to continue in the next video. So I'll see you over there.